The Talking Drum Episode 1, The Forgotten Village. The sun sank beneath the horizon, painting the skies of Mbala village in hues of fiery red and deep purple. Kofi, a curious boy of 13, sat on the steps of his grandmother's hut, his sharp eyes tracing the dense forest line at the village's edge. It wasn't an ordinary forest. It was said to be alive, watching and waiting for anyone brave or foolish enough to wander inside. "Stay away from those trees," his grandmother always warned, her voice trembling with an ancient fear. But curiosity had a way of silencing wisdom. That evening, when the village drums stopped echoing their usual rhythms and the night air grew eerily still, Kofi decided to investigate the whispers in the forest. As Kofi stepped into the forest, the air grew heavier, the earthy scent of the soil mixed with a strange metallic tang. The wind seemed to hum, carrying whispers he couldn't quite make out. His heart pounded as he followed a faint glowing light weaving through the dense underbrush. "What could it be?" he muttered, half excited and half terrified. The glow led him to a massive baobab tree with roots so large they clawed out of the earth like ancient hands. At its base, partially buried in the soil, lay a drum. Its leather surface was cracked but glimmered faintly under the moonlight, as though it were alive. Kofi reached out hesitantly. The moment his fingers brushed the drum, a low melodic hum resonated from it, vibrating through the ground and up his arm. He jerked his hand back, his breath hitching. "Kofi." He froze. His name echoed softly, carried by an unseen voice that seemed to come from the drum itself. "Who's there?" he whispered, spinning around. The forest was empty, yet the voice persisted, louder this time. "Kofi, you have found me." The village elder's warning, Kofi bolted from the forest, clutching his chest as he stumbled into the village square. His panicked state drew a small crowd, including the village elders. Their faces darkened as he recounted what he'd seen. "The talking drum," one elder murmured, his voice heavy with dread. "It has been asleep for generations. No one was to disturb it." "What is it?" Kofi asked, fear and excitement swirling within him. "It is no ordinary drum," the elder replied. "Long ago it was used in the Great War to summon spirits. Some say it grants power to the worthy, others believe it brings only destruction. It is both a gift and a curse, and it must remain hidden." "Then why did it call me?" Kofi pressed, his voice trembling. The elders exchanged wary glances. "Perhaps it senses something in you," the oldest elder said. "But heed our warning. Do not play the drum. Once awakened, it can never be silenced." The midnight call. That night, Kofi lay restless on his straw mat. His grandmother snored softly in the next room, but the drum's voice echoed in his mind, relentless and haunting. "Kofi, come back. You must understand." The call was stronger now, pulling at him like an invisible thread. Despite the elder's warning, he felt compelled to return, sneaking out under the cover of darkness. He slipped back into the forest, the path illuminated by faint silver moonlight. When he reached the baobab tree, the drum seemed to pulse with a faint glow, as though it were breathing. As Kofi approached, the voice grew clearer, deeper, and more insistent. "You are chosen. Play the drum, and you will know your destiny." Kofi hesitated, his fingers trembling above the drum's surface. The forest seemed to hold its breath, the air heavy with suspense. He closed his eyes, his hand inching closer. But just as he was about to strike the drum, a cold gust of wind roared through the forest, extinguishing the moonlight and plunging everything into darkness. A pair of glowing eyes appeared in the shadows, and a voice, not from the drum, but from something far older and far more dangerous, rumbled, "You dare disturb the balance?" To be continued. Please subscribe, like and click the notification bell for more.